I tried a lot of task managers. I used the default app on iPhone, I used Todoist, Trello, habit trackers like Habitica. I tried to write my task on these small sheets of paper and keep it somewhere here in this small pocketbook which you can put inside your pocket, but it doesn't work. One main problem with all these methods is very easy to start to track your tasks, but it's very easy to drop this method. Speaking about digital apps, I just start to use it and forget about this app during the same day. Speaking about old-fashioned paper way, I just don't want to carry with me this small pocketbook or these sheets of paper. It's just not comfortable to use. I had to find another solution, and I noticed that I am using the same app almost every single day during my last 2 years. This is Notion. I have almost perfect app and I need to find system. Task Manager system, and I found it, and it called GTD, Getting Things Done, and it's about how to get things done. Yeah, it's very obvious. Original system was described in famous book from David Allen, which is called the same, Getting Things Done. If you want to find the perfect summary from this book, you have this one picture. It looks scary, yeah, I know, but we will create this system during this video. We need to move in the past, where I have strange ugly beards, with first step, understand. First part of building this system is pretty obvious and have no difference with other task manager. You create task, add additional text, assign due dates, high priority or not, done or not, and that's all. I will show you different aspects of this GTD system later, because storytelling, you know. So we need firstly create a system. And by the way, if you want to learn more about this system, you can check additional links in the description below. Video, texts, all this beautiful stuff. Let's create a system. I found YouTube tutorial from Keep Productive channel and just copy this template to my system. And I started from my brain, filling system with every task that I have in my mind. I also opened Todoist, reminders on iPhone, and move all tasks from these apps into Notion. 30 minutes later and system is almost ready. I wrote tasks, different texts, set due dates, and was already happy about the result. It looks clean, agile, and understandable, which is the most important thing. I am installing this system working in C, so that's why I am located in offline mode and I can't make additional database, working database with all projects. That's why right now I have just big pile of all written tasks and I use it as a simple task manager. About disadvantages including offline mode I will speak later in this video, but right now I need to tell you about projects. What is this and why we need to use it? Main problem about all these task managers like Todoist, I usually set a lot of due dates like for every task, because if I don't set a due date, I will forget this task, it will be lost in the app, in different menus, different windows, different projects, all this stuff. Additional categorization was harmful for me. Secondly, I can't predict future and I don't need to set a deadline for most of the tasks, and I have the situation where a lot of my tasks just overdue and I need to again set a new due date. And again I have overdue task and again set due dates. It was infinite useless process when you just move all these tasks, you just change due date all the time. Instead of doing these tasks, you are changing due dates, because without this due date, this task doesn't work at all. GTD system is more fluid in this aspect. You can divide all tasks and put in different projects, and this amount of projects should be like really small. For example, home, YouTube, university, online life, offline life, bucket list. 6. That's enough. If you create a lot of projects, it will be again hard to manage and you will spend much more time organizing all these tasks instead of doing these tasks. So we need to keep it like simple, like really simple. And for every project you set specific review date. So for example, for home tasks it can be 1 month, because you need to pay for the bills, fix the something, And that's all. This review method is really helpful to remember and blow dust from like really old and not super important tasks and do it. It's simple and cool preventive action which requires 1, 2, 3 minutes to review all tasks in project, assign new due date, use old ideas, and just do your stuff, get things done. White cat on black t-shirts, it's like perfect combination. So let's speak about advantages. First one is pretty obvious, that you have all needed information inside only one database. You have no need to find specific information on different device or on a sheet of paper or on something. You have everything inside one database, and that's perfect. Great advantage of Notion itself that if you have a system, it's you spend like little amount of time to write all needed tasks at basic level. You have infinite amount of scenarios what to write inside this page, because every task inside Notion is a specific page. It seems like a magic, but I really don't know what they did inside Notion, but all these databases, even with turned on complicated filters, sort on feature, it works really fast, and your databases loads pretty quickly with like enormous amount of information inside this database. This is like mind-blowing feature. Thanks Notion for this good performance. I need to speak like Apple. Amazing performance. This is strange advantage, but Notion is free, and I really don't know how it works. It's again business thing, because if you start to use like popular task manager, you need to pay for assigning due dates, for adding additional information, and for example uploading photos inside this task. If you don't know features of Notion, I highly recommend you to watch video my Notion tour, how I organize my life, because I show my digital life and different features inside Notions which will be useful for you, and also it will be useful for creating this database, because I also show GTD system in this video, how it works in my case. Speaking about disadvantages, if you don't have internet access, Notion becomes really unpredictable. You can't create linked database. If you open page with different information, you will have nothing, because Notion just downloaded only title, and that's all. You can't use presets for your pages. In offline mode, Notion is quite limited, and I really don't know why it doesn't download all databases on your device, or the most frequent databases. Keep this in mind. Notion have built-in reminders, but you don't have like complicated formats for these reminders. For example, create repetitive tasks, pay for bills once a month. That's pretty simple task. It's not so critical, but for different repetitive tasks I'm using reminders on iPhone, and I don't have any problem with it. Other point, because it's Notion, it's like a big playground without any rules. You need to spend additional time to create, to build, to set up this system which will works for you. You have a lot of templates located online, it's not a big problem. And if you don't want to use Notion, you still can find templates, for example for Todoist or for things free. Again, just Google it and you will find it. During this video I said about tags, so context tags, which is connected to your task, and I'm not using it because I don't know, maybe my life is too simple, maybe I don't have a lot of tasks, but I really don't need to use this text, because I just spent additional time for useless information. And last but not least, it's like problem of building your own system, because you don't have like strict guidelines and you can change wherever you want. You can put yourself in a big trap, just adjusting new database, changing amount of tags, changing projects, changing review dates, and you can create infinite amount of version of your task manager, and you won't finish any task because you're spending your time thinking that you are productive because you are building this system. I had this problem before, that I need to create like super complicated system which is not comfortable to use, but it's like have all that I need, all functions that I don't use, but I need these functions. This is your daily tool which you will use quite often, and I highly recommend to you to keep it simple. If you want to stick with this system, you need to keep it simple. Yes. Here's my long-term opinion. I'm using this system more than 3 months, and one thing is when you try new app, try new thing, try new system, try new device, and you drop it because you don't like it. Other thing is when you start to work using only one system in a long-term journey. For example, I created Second Brain and I have video about it here, and it was around a year ago, and right now I'm just not using it, and I start to transfer all data from Second Brain into Notion and created a new version of Second Brain because I don't like to use Obsidian and I like to use Notion more. I recommend to think about new system, for example GTD system, like this is a plant and you need to plant a seed and put a lot of energy into small nothing, but later when it becomes stronger, becomes bigger and have more blocks, more information, more guidelines. You need to sometimes check it and do needed maintenance, but still it's like independent system and it's working system, and you don't need to just put your hands and trying to fix everything inside it. Please don't do it. So when I was building this system, I was in C and I spent 2, 3, 4 days moving around these blocks, thinking about databases which I will use and which I won't use. But still, building this system is not so important than just writing tasks inside this system. Just write a task even without all additional properties. Without tags, without review date, without project, without high priority or not. Just write this task and do this task, I want to say. Forget about this task, but no, I don't want to say that I become super productive after implementing this method in my life. Presently, I have more than 250 written tasks inside this database, inside this GTD system, and I'm pretty happy about it because I don't need to dive deeper inside my mind finding what to do next. So, highly recommend you to try it out. Additional links about this system will be in the description, and I highly recommend you to watch Notion tour because you can find new features and also detailed description about my GTD system, how it works, and also about my Second Brain. Evgeny Maximov, thanks. It's time to get things done.